Hey guys, this is Johnny Lopez with Lopez Lawn and Tree Care, and today we're going to do a review on the SG36 green or steel green spreader sprayer. I've got a little over 60 hours. I was going to do this video at 50. We haven't had time. We've been busy, so today's Sunday. I'm not working, and I figured it'd be a good day to go ahead and get a review on it. I've had a lot of people ask me what I thought of it, especially compared to the Z Spray. I never operated the Z Spray, so this video is just going to be my opinion of the steel green, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and would I buy it again. So let's get started. So here she is, SG36. It's a 2020 model. We purchased it in August of 2020, brand new. And let's get to the I don't like stuff. And I'll tell you right off the bat what I don't like about this machine. And maybe I gotta see if I can adjust it today, is this brake. This brake does not do anything. It is useless. It will not hold this machine. It will roll. My zero turns, when I put the brake on, I don't have wheel locks and I don't strap them down. It holds them just fine in my enclosed trailer. And the very first time I went to put this in the trailer, didn't really check the brake, and I put it in. We went to go get fuel, and when I opened the door, it was up against the door, and this busted that up right there. So, and it's probably just on me. I haven't adjusted it. Probably needs adjustment, but hopefully that's what it is. The second thing is this thing here is in a bad spot. When you're on the machine and you're in a rough yard, as you can see, your knee hits it. If you're like this, you're gonna hit it. And I've hit that thing 100 times, and let me tell you, it does not feel good. I wish that was somewhere else other than that spot, because this is a rough riding machine in rough yards. Smooth yards, runs like a Cadillac. But if it's bumpy, you hold on, because I've almost been thrown off of it. And I'm sure they're all like that. The only thing I've seen different is on the Z sprays. Right here, they've got a little shock absorber. So imagine that makes a world of difference. So that is something I don't like. I wish, and I understand this is 36. I've seen the Z sprays, and I think their wheels are a little bit wider. These are skinny wheels, and they will tear up the turf if you turn too sharp, as with any kind of tire that's really thin and skinny like that. Wish they were a little wider, but that's okay. And then these back here, they say that you can put fertilizer bags, and I have. The only thing I don't like about them is if you put the bags, 50-pound bags in them, and you let them sit there for a yard or so, or even half a yard, the fertilizer begins to settle, and they are a pain to get out of that. I understand the way they made them. They're the width of the tank, so I kind of get that. But if they were a little wider, it might be better. I don't know. Let's see. The other thing is the engine. It is a Vanguard 21. Let me see if I can get this in there. 21 horsepower. And for me, I think it's underpowered. Now, I'm a big boy. I'm 5'11", 256 pounds. If you go up any kind of an incline, you begin to lose power really quick. And I've had it to where it's shut off on me. You can't tell, but I spray that yard. My neighbor back there, he's got a slight incline, and it will lose power. I think most of this size spreaders, they have the 21, but I just wish it had more power going up inclines. Anything other than that is perfect. It's fine. You don't have issues. But we're not in a really hilly place, so we don't do a lot of inclines, but there's times we do, and we just don't have the power there. Other than that, I don't really have any other complaints. It's a well-built machine. It does really good. Like I said, we purchased it new. Here are the hours. We have 65.4. I'm the only one that operates it. There's the control panels. It's got your speedometer. It'll tell you your temperature, all that good stuff, the outside temperature. Now then, when they brought this machine to me, it had a small little crack here. See if you can see all that. Now what it looks like, someone took a little ball peen hammer and just started hitting this. This has done this on its own, because that's where I rest my hands at when I'm going. I don't know if it's a default in the paint, but as you can see, I don't know if it's picking it up. Let's see here. It is cracked. The paint is cracked through here. But that's what it looks like, is someone has taken something and just pinged it all along. When I first received it, it had just, well, this is right here. I don't know, let's see if you can see that. I painted it right there because that was little pieces of metal there you can see. I painted it. I'm trying to see if I can get this better. But anyhow, I don't know what caused that. Surely wasn't me. I'm not going to beat on a $13,000 machine. Over here, we don't have that issue. It's just on that. Now these are your controls here for your sprayer. I constantly use, there's the foot, and that's how I spray. I pull those up and I use the foot to release the chemicals out. And then of course these are for your hopper. The hopper's hydro. I like that. I like that you can control the speed. So if you have a small little area, you can pretty much hit it with this. And then if you have a big area, you know, you can run wide open. And I believe it's 25 feet is what it'll spread out. So good thing right there. As you've seen in the other video, if you watched it, we did add the lights to it in case we ever get caught running late and we have to finish a yard, we can finish it. But overall, it is a darn good machine. I'm very pleased with it. Now then, would I buy this machine again? And it's a kind of a trick question here, because I'm going to let you know what happened. The chances of me buying this again are probably slim to none, unless I can order strictly from the manufacturer. In my area, we have one place, and it's in Oklahoma City, and it's about 2.5 hours from me, that sells these machines. That's the closest one. Okay, so we contacted them, we got everything going, and as everybody knows, is as far as buying a brand, or you know, especially with mowers, your dealership, your sales guy is key. That is the most important thing when purchasing equipment. I think we can all agree on that. Now, when we purchased this, we purchased it from PK Equipment's Oklahoma City. The service I got up until the point we were making the purchase and during the purchase was the worst service I've ever received in purchasing equipment. Up to that point, they brought it to me, let me demo. It was great. Sales guy was great. You know, the day they delivered it to me, I noticed that crack, and I mentioned it to the sales guy, and he's just kind of shrugged at it. So I don't know what to tell you. And granted, I know these machines, sometimes they sit out. As you can see here, it was all sun faded. These were all sun faded. The tanks were sun faded. This machine has been sitting out for a long time. And when I contacted the manufacturer, they said it was probably a leftover model. And when I received it, it had 3.5 hours on it. Now then, they had told me that a wheel motor, when they were testing it out before they brought it to me, had went out. So I assumed the 3.5 hours are from when they were testing it and they put a new wheel motor. We haven't had an issue with it. But the very first day that I decided to take it out of the garage to go spray with it, could not get it started. Now when the salesman brought it to me, he seemed that he was in a hurry, and I had some questions about it. He said, if you got any questions, just call me. Basically dumped it. I signed the paper. I should have never signed the paperwork. That was my first mistake, but I did because I needed it, and I was I guess you could say I was happy to get it, and I just wanted it, and that was it. And now that I had time to think about it, you know, I should have took my time on it. So basically I didn't get any questions answered to me. And then after he left, I had called him because I noticed after watching one of Steelgreen's videos, like on the hose reel, it had a shutoff valve. And they said it's very important to shut it off so you don't get drip back on, you know, because this is pressurized. When you turn your pumps on, it runs, this is a 100-foot reel hose, so it's pressurizing this 100-foot reel hose, and then you're spraying out these. So it said to be always to make sure that the valve is shut off. Well, as you can see, there is no valve. So I had called my sales guy. After repeated attempts of getting hold of him, he finally called me back. And I told him, I said, hey, there's no valve shut off on that. His answer was to go down to the local Atwoods or Tractor Supply and go pick one up. Well, the problem I've got is this right here cost me $560 to add on to it. And I'll show you. And here is the company that we purchased it from. So the reel hose, here's our paperwork. You can see that, zoom in, $560 for, what do you guys see here? All right, that's a little better. Phone don't want to focus, but 100-foot reel hose, $560. Now, granted, yes, it's a small little piece, but at $560 on a brand new machine, it should have everything it comes with, and you shouldn't be told to have to go to the store and buy a piece that maybe costs $6, $7 and put it on. I contacted Steelgreen. Anytime I have contacted them, they have been really good, and they're sending me one for free. So I should have that here in a couple days. So that was the issue we had. Now get to back where I went to start it. Would not start. Now I've been in business for a long time. I know machines. I said, but this is never owned one of these, so there might be a trick to it. So I called my sales guy. I got his cell phone number, and repeatedly, I think I called them 7 times. Never answered me. Sent them several texts. Never answered me. Even sent them emails. So finally I called the store. Got a hold of a secretary. After an hour, she had to go back and find a mechanic, and they told me that I probably needed to beat on the carburetor, the floater, because sometimes the float sticks. So I did. Of course, it did start. But my sales guy that, you know, is supposed to, you know, if I have any issues and concerns, is supposed to get back to you. And I'm not saying he had to get back to me within a matter of seconds, but I never ever received a phone call back. Not one phone call. So that would be the reason why I would never purchase a machine unless if I can go strictly to the manufacturer, because what I'm scared of, God forbid, if something happens and it has to get under warranty, take it back to them, how service I'm going to get. Because I've contacted their manager on certain things about this machine and basically just hit closed doors. They basically sold me the machine and act like they don't want nothing to do with me. So if PK or any members of PK is watching, you need to work better on that. Now maybe because I'm a small little fish in a pond and only brought one machine from them, they don't feel like they need to get back to me on certain things. But as you can always remember, small fish grow up to be big fish in the pond. And eventually, where we're going to take this business, I want to be able to have 6 to 7 trucks running nothing but fertilization and weed control. Therefore, we're going to be buying a bunch of these machines. And so that's where I think they kind of messed up is, yes, I only brought one, but at the end of this year, we're looking at buying another one, and so forth and so forth. So a company that I do business with for as far as getting my chemicals, they are a Z sprayer dealer. So like I said, I'm going to still contact Steelgreen and find out maybe if I can order, because it is a good machine. I'm not knocking it because of the service that I received purchasing this machine. It doesn't take away that it's a damn good machine and it was a good investment. But like I said, in lawn care business, everybody know dealer support is key. And it may be somebody watching this, because I got a lot of people in Oklahoma City that subscribe to my channel. They might do business with them, and it's been awesome for them. That's great. I'm just saying the way I was treated was pretty bad. And like I said, I don't need someone to. I'm not looking for someone to be at my beck and call. But when you have a concern or your machine's not starting and it's still brand new, that was within a week of the drop off when they dropped it off to me. You would expect your dealer, hey, did you get it fixed? Did you figure out what you need to figure out? Just checking back. Not one courtesy call back. I've never heard from them since the last time I talked to them about the valve. That's the last time I talked to them. So they will not be earning any of our business. And like I said, this is no way, shape, or form saying that they may provide good business. I'm sure they do. They've been in business for a while. But I'm just saying, for me, they did not provide the service that when you spend this kind of money on a piece of equipment that you should be getting. So they will never receive another dollar from me. But like I said, I don't want that taken away from this machine, because it is a well-built machine. Steelgreen got it going on when it comes to this machine, other than a few little adjustments that me personally I don't like. Maybe somebody else don't have an issue with the brake or where it's at. I've watched a lot of videos and reviews on equipment. Some people are fine with it, some people aren't. But I'm just giving you my honest opinion about the machine. Having this thing has really upped our ability to do large properties, acreage. We've been doing a lot of 1, 2, 3 acre properties lately, and we can get in there, get it done. And the whole point of having the real hose is we've had come across some yards where I cannot fit a 36 in their gate, and we have been able to roll that hose out and finish spraying the whole backyard. And that was the whole purpose of buying this machine. That way I don't need to, which I do have the backpack sprayers, but I don't need to go grab a backpack sprayer, because I wanted one machine to do all. And before buying this, we looked at the Permagreen, which is a very well built machine, also very good. I have a Permagreen, the older model, still use it to this day. But there were some things that was lacking that I felt that would be better for me if I went with a machine design like this, and to have the real hose, because I use that real hose a lot. On every yard I'm using it, whether it to be these edge lines like here, because when you're spraying, and I've said this in a video before, your spray comes out, but the weeds that you have down in here, you're not catching. So I run along the curb with that gun and shoot right in here, because I've had yards where I've sprayed, everything's killed, and then you see a line of henbit growing right in that line right there, because the way it shoots out, it's coming, this edge is blocking this down here, so you're not getting your chemical down there. So I'll come along with that gun and just spray along the edge. That way we can fix that problem. But I hope this answers anybody's questions about this. Like I said, it's a good machine, and I don't knock it by no means. Every machine that you're going to buy is going to have something on there you don't like. That's just the way it is. There's no machine out there, I think, in my opinion, that is perfect. I know one thing I didn't talk about is on the Z sprays. What I did like about them, after looking at them, this sits really low, and jumping curves, I have hit it with the curve and been stuck on it. I know the Z spray is about right in here, come up, but then on their 36 model, or 30, it's, the tanks are smaller than 15 gallons. I want to say they're 13 gallons each, but that's pretty low. But I'm not jumping curves that often, very rarely, unless it's a property. A lot of commercial properties, we do have to jump them, because they'll have as you know, a little island, and it's all curved around there, so you have no choice but to jump it. But other than that, every single residential yard, you go up the driveway or something, but you're not jumping curves. But only usually on commercial properties when I've had that problem. So anyhow, if you guys got any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Another thing I wanted to show you is these sprayers. These are the backpack sprayers we run, and we had to, I wish they would do this when they make them or send them out. We had to buy the little check ball valves, or let me see if, right here, hold on a second. These, now they got a little check ball in there, and it keeps it from getting that drip. We had a big issue with this head here of just leaking from the line once you shut the machine off. And as you can see, all along the wall, all right there. So we added 2 in each nozzle, and then the only way I could put one in is right here, because it wouldn't fit that head. And so it still leaks just a little bit, but not like it was, because you can see all down there. I've got to clean the trailer out today, All that is from the backpack sprayers, because when you shut them off, they still got liquid in the lines. And I've done the, out in the yard trying to, hit it out of there, and it still don't get them all. So I brought those yesterday and put those in there. So hopefully that'll fix that problem. The other thing I want to do is give a big shout out to Trey from BigBuckMowers down in Bonham, Texas. He's a Gravely dealer. If you don't know who he is, go check out his channel on YouTube. Great guy. I mean, talk about sales, being there for you. He's the man. I wish he was close to me. He's about almost 4 hours from me. But he sells Gravely. He's a Gravely dealer. If you're in that area, definitely, if you're a Gravely guy, check him out. He's also giving a free Gravely walk behind mower. I think it's about a $7,000-8,000 mower. Badass little mower. You go to his Big Buck Mower on YouTube. You can figure out how to sign up for that. It's going to be given away, I believe, in May. So go check out his channel. Subscribe. He's a great guy. A lot of info. We've done some podcasts with him. And that brings me to the Petra. He gave me this the day I went up there to do the podcast to try out. We haven't used it yet, but starting tomorrow, she will be broke in. I'm not going to take it all apart because there's a tons of videos out there right now. But I will be giving a review on it, on how I like it, because I've already got 2 yards I'm going to use it on first thing in the morning. It does come with a variety of nozzle tips. I like this hose. It looks like it's very well built. It ain't like the cheap ones. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm really anxious to try it. I just hadn't got it out the box to use it yet, but that all changes tomorrow. And after a couple of weeks of using it, I will do a review whether I like it or not. Because we are gearing our business to where we're going to split off, and we have done weed control for years now, but not on the scale that I've been wanting to do it, because I can't do it, because I have to be in charge of the mowing, and it is hard to mow a full week schedule and then also to spray and fertilize. I'm a big believer in family time, so I am not one of those guys that hits it 7 days a week. I do want to grow my business, but also my family comes before anything else, so I don't work weekends. There's times I have, you just can't help it, but I'm not other than that, I don't. That's my time with my family. And one thing I see a lot of guys, and I'm not knocking nobody, everybody has their own grind and how they do things, but I'm a firm believer in, especially with children, you don't never get that time back. Yards, mowing, spraying, it's going to be there tomorrow. And if it ain't, you move on to the next one. It's not a big deal. It's not to the point where you need to be sacrificing your family time. So we don't work weekends unless it's something absolutely we have to have. We didn't finish a job on Friday, so we have to go back in on Saturday to finish it. But other than that, we don't work them. Even if we've had a crappy week all week, and Saturday and Sunday is supposed to be 70. Well, like yesterday. Yesterday was 75 degrees, no wind. Friday was 50 degrees, 45-mile-an-hour winds. We weren't able to spray much. We did it in the morning, and then once the wind picked up, we had to quit. Most people went out on Saturday to finish their Fridays. I didn't. I said, nope. Saturdays when me and my family, we go out and we enjoy the day. We go out to eat and do a little shopping and whatnot. But it's very important not to sacrifice that family time, because you don't never get it back. And I speak of experience with that. My daddy, as you well know, if you watch this channel, I took over the mowing business from him, and we've been in business over 50 years. And my dad was old school, and he did not miss any work. If a holiday landed on a weekday, he worked it. 4th of July landed on a weekday. Even though he was a veteran, did 3 tours in Vietnam, he still worked 4th of July. He was just like that. Saturday, he tried to spend as much time as he could with us. And then on Sunday, it was mower maintenance. And he was in his little workshop, and that's where he stayed all day. So we didn't see much of him. And, growing up, I missed a lot of things with them. Didn't get to do it. And I have 5 kids, and I am not going to do that. So my kids come before my business or anything else. And that's just the way it is. Now, to get back to the weed control and fertilization business. We are starting to take on more customers of just strictly weed control and fertilization. because my son will be graduating next year and he is going to come work with me full time. So I am going to turn over the mowing routes to him. He's going to be in charge of all the mowing and everything like that. And I will be doing nothing but weed control and fertilization. And that's how we're going to grow the business on that part. Because I really enjoy, I enjoy the spraying part of it. So I'm hoping within the next 3 to 4 years, we'll have several trucks on the road and we can build our clientele. Every week we're grabbing new clients for the year to do weed control and fertilization. So it's looking really promising. So that's when we're going to start looking to buy more machines. I want to do a setup to where we're not pulling a trailer. We can run everything off of like that truck there. It's a 1-ton flatbed. I have a carrier that goes in the receiver hitch of that. I don't think I've ever done a video on that, but it only fit my permagreen. I've tried it with this machine and it's too long. We had it custom built for the permagreen. So, but that's the setup that I want to have once I start hiring applicators, is that I don't want to pull no trailers or anything like that. Now, as far as this trailer is concerned, for me, I'm going to keep it in the weed control business part. I'm thinking this summer we may buy a 7x14 landscape trailer, open top, and I'm going to delegate a lot to my oldest son, because he works for me in the summer, and let him start. I want him starting to get his feet wet as far as running the routes. There's going to be days that I'm going to go mow with him, because obviously I don't have enough clientele to run the weed control business Monday through Friday, because as if anybody knows it, you need, if you can get 400 or 500 customers, that could probably keep you pretty busy year round throughout every day of the week. I'm not there yet, so I'll help him. But in the meanwhile, I want him to start learning, so when he does graduate next year, he can hit the ground running, and he'll have his truck, he has his trailer, the mowers, and he already knows all the yards, which he pretty much knows all of them now, except for the new ones we've acquired. He don't know those yet. So this trailer will probably end up taking the racks. I may leave one blower rack like that, so when we have to blow off any fertilizer, but the other rack will go on it, and we won't have anything mowing wise. And what I'll end up doing is taking this tank out, or I may leave it, but I'm going to have to get a bigger tank. That is a 65-gallon tank, and we can blow through that really quick. I've had to do refills in the middle of the day, because I will fill that one up. That's 30 gallons, 15 on each side, and then have this one, and by noon I can be out of water. That's how much spraying we're doing. So what I would like to do is somewhere maybe in this area put a 200-gallon tank, and probably, because it's going to sit on the floor, we're going to have to run some kind of electrical pump. I didn't want to do that. This is all gravity fed. It's great up until you get to down here, and you need to make sure your sprayer is not on the yard like on a curb yard, because you cannot get it out. It's the gravity, so it's got to go downhill. When it's full, shoots out fine. So thinking a 200-gallon tank here, electrical motor, so we can fill up, would be great. And the deal I like to have the enclosed is because we can store all our fertilizer up here, and I don't never have to worry about it getting wet. That was my only concern if we go to open top or going to trucks, that if it rains or something, the equipment's out in the weather along with your chemicals and all that. I had another person question me about, or asking me about, do I pre-mix? No, this is strictly just water. We do not pre-mix anything. I try to run those tanks out empty on the Steelgreen when we're done for the weekend, because as you all know, water can dilute your chemicals down really bad. And one thing we do is we test our water. This little, you can get it at Walmart, or I brought this at a pool supply to check the pH level. Because if you're really high, it don't take long to dilute your highly expensive chemicals, especially if you let them sit for a day or two. And that brings us to some surfactants. These surfactants that we use, this one's a drift control agent. It's acidifier, And so if you do have that high pH, or that knocks it down. And then here's a 90-10 surfactant. So those are surfactants that we run. But that's why we don't pre-mix anything. So that way I don't have to worry about if I got 50 gallons or 40 gallons in here. It could sit in there 3-4 days before we spray with it, and then your chemicals are just getting diluted. And as everybody knows, these things are not cheap. They are very expensive. A lot of people say there is good money in a spraying business, but also your chemicals is a huge factor because of the expensiveness they are. Yeah, there's cheap ones out there. You know, we try to, price doesn't regulate what we're using. What regulates is what works really good for us. And that's a lot of trial and error. Trying this kind, trying it this way, putting it down this much, till you can come down. And I'll tell you right now, we've been doing a really good job, but I want to do better, because that's why we play with a lot of chemicals, trying to find the right stuff that it's going to get a good solid kill when you go into a yard. But that's the plan, guys. That's what we're going to do. You have to excuse the mess. We sprayed all last week, and I got empty cans I got to get rid of and stuff. But I got to get this trailer cleaned out today. But that's what we're going to do. That's the goal, is we're going to beef up our weed control business. And by next year, the goal is that I'm doing nothing but weed control Monday through Friday, once my son comes on board and takes over the mowing business. And so that's the goal, and I hope it works out great. I got a lot of ideas, and as we're progressing through that, I want to be videotaping it and putting it on YouTube, because I know there's a lot of guys that sometimes, you talk about a lot of guys trying to think about getting in the lawn care business, where there's a lot of guys in the lawn care business are trying to get into the weed control business, because it is a really small market, because not a lot of people can do it. And for most states, it requires a lot. When we got into it, you got to go test, you got to keep up with your testing, you have to get your license, pay for them. Our insurance, we had several different insurance, from tree work to liability and all that. We had to go find another carrier, because none of those carry the insurance that we needed for our chemical license. So there is a lot that goes into it. And every year, you got to certify it, and you got to pay your license fees and all that. Even to put down granule fertilizer, you have to have a license for it in the state of Oklahoma. So a lot of people don't like to mess with it, which in turn is kind of a good thing, because you don't have, well, I say you don't have everybody. There is a lot of people that goes out and spray that aren't licensed. And in my town, there are a lot of people that do it. I see them every day. They're out there spraying, and they don't have a license. But that's none of my business. I don't let it concern me. I just take care of me and my business. But it's a good market to get into, but it's kind of expensive. This machine here, it was over $13,000. They're not cheap at all. And you're going to be about, for a small machine like this, you're going to be about between 12 and 14 grand easy, for these kind of machines. Even the Permagreen, I believe it's about 12 something. So they are expensive machines, but they're well worth their value. You can make your money really quick back if you know what you're doing. So, well, anyways, guys, that's my time. I hope this video was informative for you. Hope I didn't ramble on too much. It's been a little while since I made a long video. We're already at over 30 minutes. I like to keep them short, but like I said, I haven't made one in a while, so I had a lot to say. But like I said, Steelgreen, great machine, guys. You knocked it out the ballpark with this one. Like I said, my only complaint was with the dealer. And if we can get it from the manufacturer straight, or hell, I wouldn't even mind driving 3-4 hours somewhere else to go get it. I'll probably stick with them. If not, we're going to be looking at going with the Z spray. I did try to talk to my guys over there where I get my chemicals at Site 1, and I'm going to talk to them about letting me demo one of their Z sprays to try it, and that'll make my decision too. But like I said, great machine. Anybody looking to get one, man, you can't go wrong. You're not going to go wrong with this machine, I guarantee it. Just make sure you got good dealer support. That's the only thing I can tell you. Dealer support. That's the biggest thing in this business. If you got that, shit, you got it made. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have that, so that was the only little black eye I had on this whole machine purchasing thing. was them. So, and like I said, if you guys are watching from PK, you need to do better. Even if it's just one guy buying a machine, you may just sell to one person one time. Every customer counts. That's how we look at our business. Every one of our customers count, regardless if they have us do one service for them or not. We go in there like they've been with us for 20 years. We take care of them, and we make sure that they're happy with the quality of work that we do. And PK, that's what you guys need to be doing, because like I said, eventually I'll be buying a bunch of these machines, and the sad part for you guys is you won't get none of my business. So, well, with that included, guys, I hope y'all enjoy this Sunday afternoon here in Oklahoma. It's almost 70 degrees. It's beautiful. A little windy. No cloud in the sky. Couldn't ask for anything better in March. The grass is ready to come out. My neighbor's yard over there, we don't mow it and we don't spray it, and it's terrible. You can look at my yard over here, clean as a whistle. Look at that one. But grass is ready to come out. Bermuda here. Ground temperatures are already warming up. In some spots I've already seen a little bit of Bermuda popping out. So I hope everybody has a blessed day. Keep on going, make that money. And like I said, big shout out, thanks to my subscribers, everyone that subscribed to my channel. Again, thanks again. I think we're over 530 now. So I appreciate all you guys that subscribe. Thanks, it means a lot. I'm glad that my videos can help you out and stuff, so that means a lot, especially when I get comments of people telling me, hey, great video, it helped me out on a decision or whatnot. But I really appreciate that from everybody. So, all right, I'm out of here. Y'all take care.